Catchup!
Hey, we're back. We're gonna get Dr. Mario.
Yep.
Davis was talking about the screen and how it was cool that there was like, oh, it's like 5 extra characters. It's like, fuck you, there's more.
Yeah, I just love that they don't put the question marks over here yet, like on these sides. Like making you think there's only 5 more, which still,
It's
that's
like,
an
oh,
upgrade.
Cool. Like, that's a bunch of characters.
That's still like an upgrade from the first game where there were only, I think, 4 unlockables.
Yeah, we weren't like, give me 50 fucking characters, like,
no,
plus 20 more.
And you
started,
you started with 8, and you only so for a total of 12, and then you start off this game with more than that to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, well, of course you're not going to complain when you've got 5 unlockables and these other starting characters, but I just love that it doesn't even allude to the fact that it's more than that. So.
Yeah. Another thing that this reminded me of, because I was joking, because Davis was switching through the colors, and he was like, I like the brown and white Mario. I'm like, oh, it's like Super Mario Land Mario. And then he switched to the Wario. I was like, oh, yeah, that one's like Wario. I was like, it's like an Echo Fighter. I really do like how in the new Smash, it's not just palette swaps.
Yeah.
Not only, for anybody who doesn't know, is it not just palette swaps. If you want to go and start.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm just going to talk about this for a long ass time, probably.
I was literally just staring at you.
I know. Not only is it not just palette swaps, and it's not just Echo Fighters, it's not just like, oh, Daisy instead of Peach. It's like Mario doesn't just wear his like hat and gloves and overalls. It's like he can be in double damn.
I even stood there for a second just to see if he was going to do anything.
We're on very easy, so.
Yeah,
we figured out we don't have to be in a certain mode to get these, so fuck it. We're playing very easy to get these guys.
We have things to do today.
We got shit to do.
Actually, this is the thing. This is the thing to do today.
We're going to play D&D later.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm going to not do voices, probably, or they're going to be like, oh, my God, I'm a goblin. But not only is it, like, not palette swaps, it's like Mario is going to be in, like, his outfits from Odyssey, perhaps, or, like, his Super Mario Maker, like, construction stuff. It's like, it's not just new colors, it's entirely new models, which is, that's a lot of love to me.
Yeah.
The reason I was talking about this at all in the first place is for some reason I was thinking, you asked who wasn't in 4 that was in this one, and I wanted to say Ganondorf, and I'm like, that's not right.
Right,
And I'm like, well, kinda, because it's a different version of Ganondorf.
True.
And then I thought about it, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot, they're bringing him back.
Yeah.
Not only do you get, like, Twilight Princess Ganondorf that we've had the last couple times, you get, like, Ocarina Ganondorf. Because it's a different model. Because they're just like, fuck it. We're going all out on this one. You can get different models and stuff, too, which is super
just go
cool
down.
to me. Yeah, fuck it.
I hate those anyway.
But, like, same with, like, Zelda, or not Zelda, Christ, Link. From Zelda. Like, you can have his Breath of the Wild outfit. Or his, like, tunic. Or probably more things. Like, I don't know, something about that just really like hits me in a really nice spot. As far as like that like super reference part of me that really enjoys this stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's really cool. I mean,
feels like they're putting like, it feels like this is like a, hey, we're putting everything you've ever loved and cared about into this game because you care about it.
Yeah.
Like, it feels very sincere.
Yeah, it does. You're right. And there are definitely like certain iterations of characters that I like way more than others. So, because when I initially saw Zelda with that long scarf, I was just sort of like, I mean, like, because I'm just like an Ocarina boy. I just am. And just having the option to do a different Sheik.
Right. Is just like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah. That is really nice. Like, because that's not, honestly, that's like not even a thing people were asking for. Like,
right, that's just like all gravy, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just the fact that they just thought about it and were like, wouldn't it be cool if?
Yeah, like the fact that Pokemon Trainer's back.
Yeah,
with
which
Squirtle and Ivysaur.
Question?
And they're like,
yeah, it's not with Charizard, right?
It is Charizard.
It has Charizard as well.
Yeah.
And is Charizard a character too?
No.
Oh, okay, so he's
they did wrap that together. That's the only character technically that's not back.
Yeah.
But he is back in that form.
Okay. I wasn't sure how they were going to do that.
That's the only different thing they did.
Because I figured it was either going to be just Ivysaur and Ivysaur and Squirtle for Pokemon Trainer, or it was going to just get rid of Charizard. Like, surely they wouldn't.
Wouldn't that have been neat if they were like, oh, it's Pokemon Trainer and he's back. Oh, it's a different Pokemon. Like, they wouldn't have done that, but that would have been kind of interesting.
I mean, I would have liked that, but I think it goes against the spirit of, you know.
It does. I know they're not going to do it, but okay, so for palette swaps, you have Excuse my thinking. Okay, so you have the boy Pokemon trainer and the girl Pokemon trainer, which is neat. Could you imagine 4 Pokemon trainer? This would be hard to do, and they wouldn't do it because it'd be completely different. It wouldn't be like changing Peach to Daisy. It would be like really different.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if they're like, oh, here's several Echo Fighters. God, excuse me. Instead of Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard, here, play Totodile, Bayleaf, and Typhlosion.
That would have been so cool. It's just
that would be almost impossible to do.
Just
because
the
like
move
Charizard
sets.
can glide.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck every other fire type. Like, it would be impossible to do, but that would blow my mind. If they had only done the like smallest versions, if it was like Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander, they would probably have been able to do that fairly easily, actually.
Maybe.
In some capacity.
Oh well. You mean like initially? I thought I didn't think you meant like. I was like, that doesn't solve the glide problem. But no, yeah, you're right. They totally could have done that. I mean,
saying even if they changed it, like say for example, they changed it to Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and they had Charizard as a separate character.
Mm-hmm.
They could be like, also the Echo Fighters are all the other starters from the other generation. That would be a lot of extra work, but they're already putting in so much extra work.
No, that would have been. I would have been beautiful. But
My
it's just one of those.
hope for palette swaps is that the actual shinies from the games are in there.
Oh,
because they've never actually done that.
That'd be awesome.
They've never actually done that as palette swaps. Had the actual shinies.
I would love that.
Yeah, it would be the best.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them.
They probably will. You almost guarantee Ash Greninja is going to be there as a alternate costume for Greninja.
Yeah.
Because they pushed Ash Greninja so hard in the game.
Yeah, he is like the poster child now. Instead of Pikachu even.
Same reason Pikachu. Yeah, for the anime. In a weird way.
For the anime.
Yeah. Pikachu is getting like fucking Luchador Pikachu.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I can almost. There's no way Detective Pikachu isn't an alternate costume. That's gonna happen. There's no way that doesn't happen. I would say. I'm trying to. I just love speculating about this stuff. Oh, one that we speculate about that you got me hyped up for. You're like, hey, I saw where Knuckles is an assist trophy. I didn't see where Shadow was.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, what if Shadow is a Echo Fighter for Sonic? I would shit my pants.
Right. Yeah.
14-year-old me would shit his pants. Child. If shitty edgelord drawn Sonic in his notebook me would love that shit.
I'm still like, I'm wondering. So like, all these Echo Fighters are cool and all. Yeah. I really like them. Yeah. But I am more of a guy that just like gets more excited about like actual
new
like new move sets, things like that.
Sure. Ridley.
Well, yeah, Ridley. But also, we'll get to Ridley. No, he's not. Although that was their reason for the longest time not to do him. But
did you? I'm not gonna interrupt your whole thing. But my favorite thing about that announcement was it was Ridley hits the big time. Like they were poking fun at it.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of thing where I'm like, they get it.
Yeah.
I love it when, like, the cynical part of me is like, oh, it's all just marketing. But part of me loves when they like listen to the fan base and all.
Did you see that standoff?
Yeah.
And then he upbeat as soon as I ran over.
What a dickhead.
But I was just gonna say, I'm wondering how many actual. It doesn't seem like we're gonna get a ton of new characters, possibly.
They pretty much
which
said
I'd be fine with.
Sakurai even said he was like, yeah, don't expect it. Now that said, I don't know if he was saying for the game as a whole or for this E3.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But I'm okay with it simply because of the fact that they've done so much in like other areas, bringing everyone back, doing the Echo characters. But it is, I'm a touch deflated just because that's what I get really excited about is seeing the new movesets. Like, are these like potentially competitive characters? Like, do they have any aspects to them that look like tricky or interesting? But
because you're
I can't
mechanically focused on this game. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't even need to play it. Like, I want to play it, but
right.
I want to play like practice mode to use all the moves to see all the references. Like, I'm the person who played Smash 4 on my DS, and I got Mega Man, and I just did like his side attack to see like, oh, which Robot Master is that from? That's the type of player I am for Smash, where it's like, oh, dope. His up A is from this thing, and
Uh-huh.
the down A's from this.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's an unlock to make his leaf shield look like the skull thing from this game. Like, that's the type of thing that I'm into.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get all that. That's really cool. And I can't really, like I said, I can't complain. But
Sure.
part of me is just sort of like, meh.
Yeah.
But no, it looks like it's gonna be really, really good.
I
Really,
think
really
it
good.
is. Yeah. I should have stopped you because we're not at time. We'll go a little long on this episode. We'll do 2 classics.
Oh well,
Nah, it'll be great. I don't give a shit about actual timing. It'll be
Fair
fun.
enough.
Long episodes are fun. My favorite thing to do, and I've been wanting to sit down and do this with you. Me and Davis have this thing where we will just sit and like make lists of things and speculate about things and just like get each other excited about stuff, especially for stuff like this. Oh yeah, Hammerhead. I've been wanting to sit and like either speculate about like different fighters or movesets or costumes and stuff like that. Because I'm so hyped about that. Just the fact that it's weirdly the one that did it for me, and I don't really care. This is blasphemous. Me and Pickle, similarly to in Bionicle, when I like shit all over Final Fantasy fans, me and Pickle were like, he shit on Star Wars, not shit on it, but he was like, I'm not the biggest fan of original Star Wars. I'm like, yeah, I don't really like Ocarina of Time, and we're like, cool, nobody watches this channel ever again. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Ocarina. I didn't play it when it came out.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's the main reason. It's a good game. It's just not my nostalgia. I played Twilight Princess first, so that's like my Zelda. And I played Ocarina. I'm like, oh, it's like where's Twilight Princess? Like, it's not, but that's where my mind goes because they're very similar in tone compared to some other games.
Sure.
Like, it's not Wind Waker.
Oh yeah.
It's like you can't really compare those as well. But
No.
the fact that it was like, oh shit, it's like different Ganondorfs. Like that, for some reason, that is when I was like, oh shit. They're putting a lot into this game. Like, that was the point that got me there for some reason.
I love that Ganondorf uses his sword now.
Oh, does he?
In
the actual fighting?
for his smash attacks. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's fantastic.
I don't know like how much. It looked to me like I don't remember what it was. It might have been his down smash. There's an attack that Cloud does with his down smash with his sword where he kind of like hits on either like he moves his sword in such a way that a down smash is both in front of him and behind him. If that makes sense, like the he does, but
it's a different type.
It's a little different.
Right. Yeah.
It's sort of a thing where he instead of like striking on either side, he like moves his sword like so he's holding it with the blade sort of facing towards him, and he like moves it up and then moves it back.
Okay.
So he like juts behind him really far.
Sure.
And it looks like Ganondorf's does a similar thing, but I only saw it done once because they had that invitational thing.
Okay.
And somebody
I
played
didn't watch any
Ganondorf.
of that.
Oh, okay.
Did they show anything that they didn't really show in the?
Yeah. So that's why I was saying like earlier that it looks like it's. Oh, why did I do that? It looks like
fuck those curtains up.
It looks like it's gonna be a little bit more competitive.
Sure.
Mostly people for a little bit were like, oh wait, can we wave dash because
they did the new hop thing.
They changed with the hop, and then they changed how air dodging worked, and that's what made people think that we might be able to wave dash. We can't wave dash.
Oh, really?
No, we can't. Okay. So I was disappointed about that, but that's okay.
I hyped you up for that a little bit. I'm like, oh, there's this thing and this thing. Could wave dash
well,
back? And
I mean, like the people that got their hands on it were thinking that might be a thing, and so they were testing it for a while, and then they it just it's not gonna happen.
That's fine.
But there's still. It's still the main thing for me is that the other games feel I'm gonna say clunky for lack of a better word. There's definitely a feeling in Melee like you put an input in and it immediately happens.
Sure.
And there's sort of a latency in the other games, either before an attack or especially after, which you mean everyone's aware of. Like after you do an attack, there's usually an opening.
It's less fighting game and more. There's a whole thing that's happening recently, and I'm gonna kind of tangent within your conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the PlayStation E3 thing?
Which part of it?
The Last of Us, particularly.
No, I did not.
Okay. So a lot of things that people are talking about The Last of Us, and this is a thing in gaming recently, is The Last of Us, people are like, yeah, it's gameplay, but it feels too smooth. Everything feels like, it looks fantastic. Like she's running and like she stumbles, and it's all smooth. There's no jankiness.
Right.
It feels like a movie, but people are like, that's either unrealistic or it's terrible to play.
Yeah.
Because when everything is so smooth, there is a difference between like response time and like responsiveness, I should say, and looking nice in these type of games.
Yeah, definitely.
Last of Us hit on very much on the looking nice side, where it's like if you hit something, it takes fucking 45 minutes for an animation to go. Whereas something like Street Fighter 2 is like you hit down and you go the fuck down.
Yeah.
It's like a one frame. There's no animation to it.
Right.
Or there's like one frame of animation. It's very much down. And you're saying basically Nintendo for a while has had Smash be more of a toward the nicer looking end of the spectrum. Not entirely, but more so.
Yeah, that's definitely where they've headed with each game.
Okay.
Well, I won't say that. Brawl was worse than Smash 4. But
Brawl also had banana peels.
For me, yeah.
Banana peels wasn't it. It was random tripping.
Yeah.
Banana peels is what I have in my head, but the random tripping is the shit. Yeah.
I just thought that you called the slipping, like the tripping, banana peels just for fun.
No,
so
there were actual banana peels, but that's the slipping in like a mechanical way, which is fine.
But that's exactly what it is. Is like with Melee, it doesn't necessarily look realistic in terms of the motion. Like it's not trying to mimic true physics. But because of that, you have so much. It feels like control over what your character's doing at any given moment. Because I don't like moments where I put an input in.
Sometimes a game has to be a game.
Yeah, I don't like moments where
always be a movie.
Where I'm putting an input in and I'm stuck in this little 2-second animation from my previous decision.
Yeah.
Which, yes, granted, you could say, well, I shouldn't have done that move. You're absolutely right. But what it does is make that move feel bad. So that's no longer really a good option because then you're stuck in that animation for so long, right? But I don't like having basically just trash moves.
Right.
And I also just occasionally you are going to mess up and use a move that you shouldn't have. And I don't like the feeling of those 2 seconds of feeling stuck.
Like for something like people use the term walking simulator in sort of a derisive way, which is fair. But in things where it's like walking simulators basically where it's like there's one where it's like an old lady walking through a park, and it's like almost like a playable poem in a way. When you hit up to go, if you're like sitting down, you don't pop up and run forward. The old lady like, and she like has to like pop her knee back into joint and like get up.
Yeah.
And, like brush her dress off from like one button input, and you're like, Jesus Christ, it's taking 45. But it's like beautiful and it's poignant. Arguably, that doesn't belong in a fighting game.
No.
Like, obviously not to that extent, but take something like Assassin's Creed as a whole. I was going to say 2, but really all Assassin's Creed. If you're running in one direction, you need to run the other direction. You kind of stop on your heel and you push off with your foot and turn. It feels very nice, and for that game it works. Once again, for a fighting game, that's less desirable sometimes. Smash does that.
Yeah.
But it's arguable whether or not that works.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's like, oh, I turn on a dime. Like,
yeah, I definitely am the turn on a dime kind of guy.
And I think that's fair. And that's that's a whole thing. Like, it's a spectrum, and that's an argument. Not even an argument. That's a discussion that people who will always be having about games, I think. But
yeah,
it's certainly interesting. I mean, that was on the NES, like
yeah, but
that was on the Atari. Almost.
It does feel like this new game is going to be a little bit faster than Smash 4.
Sure.
So it's to me, they're never going to go back to Melee entirely. I mean, like in terms of how the game plays.
No.
So the fact that they even like conceded a little bit, and came back some, is just to me quite a victory.
Well, once again, I'm going to keep saying this: the fact that they were openly antagonistic to the competitive community is a huge step. Well, that was a huge step from Brawl to 4.
Yeah, very true.
Because Brawl was literally openly antagonistic to the fighting game community. Or the Smash fighting community. Not the fighting game community, because they're openly antagonistic to Brawl. to Smash players.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. But the fact that it's going from, like, fuck you, do not play our game competitively.
Yeah.
If you play it with... Like, Brawl was one step short of unable to turn items off. that would not have surprised me if that was in Brawl. Like, that would not have surprised me if they had put in a button that says, no, you can't turn items off, go fuck yourself. But anyway, that's a whole discussion we'll keep having.
Yeah, in Smash, and they went from that to get Smash 4 having Omega stages for competitive reasons.
Right, and going to Ultimate, which is having Omega or Battlefield stages.
Yeah, so that's it does seem to be going in the right direction.
I wish we were having this discussion when I didn't sound like a fucking TV nerd with my fucking voice. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. This went a little long, but we like talking about Smash. This is going to keep happening. I'm going to spoil this for you guys. Bye.